Let me tell you a story. So I asked my dad right out of high school, like, Dad, can you send me to this school? It's acting school. We looked up the price and he was like, I'm not paying for it. And I was like, he's like, go to hair school. Well, I'm gonna buy you a shop. That's what he told me. 2009, I went to hair school. I hated it. I was like, this is so dumb.
Pop champagne. Break out the champagne. Everybody get a glass.
The night they invented champagne.
Champagne room. Welcome to the champagne life.
Fly to the sky on champagne.
Where trouble is a bubble in a champagne glass.
Everybody in my party is
McJames.
Pop champagne.
everything's okay. Let's toast it up.
This guy here, the Natecia shop, look at it. This is badass. And this is Ghost. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Now this is real. There she is. Uh-huh. Look. Don't that look like the same? What's up, baby?
Hey.
Look at the back room. This is her workspace.
This is the lash tech room. Esthetician, facials, lashes.
It's a nice neighborhood, too. 3 chairs. Always welcome to another podcast of the Champagne Room. There's always a celebration. Today, we celebrating Natecia's success. Go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself.
First name is Natecia, last name is Jackson. This is Natural Vibes.
And you out here with your own business, showing them how you do it. You've been writing this out for a few years now, right? You was trying to stop me from hearing you.
It's her because she plays so much.
Are you on?
No, I'm not even looking at her. I don't understand why she keeps talking about me. You leave out, she like, this is ugly.
Let's answer the question. What made you start this business? Where did the idea, the concept derive from?
Originally, my plan was to be an actress in California. Okay, let me tell you a story. So I asked my dad right out of high school, like, Dad, can you send me to this school? And he was like, oh, okay, what is it? I'm like, it's acting school. We looked up the price and he was like, I'm not paying for it. And I was like, it's a dream. What do you mean you're not paying for it? So he's like, I'm not paying $20,000 a year for school and then room and board and another $20,000. It was $40,000 a year to go to California in school. And I was like, well,
expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive. If you make it expensive. Everybody says that, but I don't really think it's that expensive. If you hungry, it's not that expensive.
I did that.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, $40,000 a year is an option. No. He's like, go to hair school. I want to go to hair school. He's like, go to hair school. I'm gonna buy you a shop. That's what he told me. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to hair school. So 2009, I went to hair school. I hated it. I was like, this is so dumb. I hated it. I didn't want to do hair. But I ended up finishing because it was something that he wanted me to do. Then I graduated from hair school like 2010. Yeah, 2010. And then I never pursued it. I went to the salon right out of hair school. I'm like, I hated it. It's too slow. I don't want to do it. So I stopped doing it. 2011, going into 2012, my dad passed away. And I was like, I need to figure out something to keep him living. You know what I mean? Like, he's gone, but he has to still live. So I ended up, like, I'm going back to do hair. Because this is what he always wanted me to do, was do hair. So I was like, hey, going back doing hair. But at the time, I had this job that I actually like prayed for. It was a corporate job down at Dayton Daily News. And I was like in the retention department, top salesman, top performer, employee of the month every month, like literally every month employee of the month. And I was like, I don't want to quit my job to do hair. I was too scared to do it. And my husband at the time was like, quit your job. And I was like, I'm gonna quit my job. Like, you quit your job, but I'm not doing it just to do hair. Like, being a cosmetologist or being in this industry is very shaky because you have to depend on people too much versus going to clock in and out. So instead I was doing hair from 4 to about 1 a.m. and I would wake up at like 7 a.m., get to work and get off. Part-time both. And at the time they was like, okay, we really need you to be second shift full time now. And I was like, I can't do that. Like, I work. I have another job. And they was like, do this or there's a door. And I was at that moment I was like, I don't care how much money you bring into a company, you're always replaceable.
No.
And at that moment, I was like, I'm going to do my own thing, because me being a top performer, I mean, the CEO and the chairman flew out from Georgia to meet me, and it was like, I need to meet you. How can you be in here for only a year and outperform people that's been in here for 15 years? And they wanted to meet me, took me to lunch and everything, but didn't want to change my schedule around.
Still willing to let you go.
I didn't even put a 2 weeks notice in. I was like, this is my last day here. And from that time, that was like February, I started doing hair out of my house in the kitchen to like 1, 2 a.m. every day, like hustling. And then I was like, I need to find a salon to work in. Everybody who I asked, like, how much is your booth rent? And they're like, 100 to 120. And I'm like, that don't really sound right. I was down the street, like 2 doors down, getting my hair braided, and I had seen this little place like for rent, and I was like, dang, like, I wonder how much they rented it out for. At first, it was just all blue carpet. It used to be a garage in here, like just a garage with the little ugly walls, all blue, nasty carpet. And I was like, no one rent this out. And my husband at the time was like, do it. And I was like, how are we gonna pay for rent and do this, do that, do that? Oh my God, it's gonna cost too much. And he's like, look, do it, get that spot, we're gonna figure it out. So I was like, forget it, I'm gonna do it. He gave me a couple months free. The landlord actually put the shampoo bowls in and laid the floor. And from there on, that was June. So from February, the time that I quit my job, February 2016, June 2016, I opened this spot up. And I've been here ever since.
The job. How people hold on to jobs, they just so geeked and happy that they got a job, they got this. And it's like, job is just over broke.
Right.
And like you said, you're just a number. They'll get rid of you no matter what you're doing. And this isn't something that you can pass down to your kids. But the beauty in it is, you came up was that you needed to let it go to start this.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. One of the things they say in Bible, they say God, will move things out your way.
Yeah.
So in a way, the universe made this happen. It was like, okay, well, you either need to become full-time or take this joint or take the door. So it was like it forced you out so you could start what you're supposed to start.
It definitely had to put my fear under faith, and the scripture in the Bible that stuck to me was command ye me. And for the longest, I couldn't understand what that meant. Like, command ye me, like, it doesn't make sense. And I just remember writing it down, like, what does this mean? This was a long time ago. And it was like, having a relationship with God or having a relationship with whatever it is you believe in, it's like, you gotta have faith in whatever. Like, and my biggest problem was fear. Like, I was fearful of everything. I was fearful of failing. I was fearful of walking out the door and something happening to me. I was fearful of staying at home by myself. I was just always scared. Mm-hmm. And then once I just started saying, like, you can't live your life in fear, because by the time you look up, you're going to look at everything that you let go because of fear. That's where I'm in right now. That's the reason why I'm not in California. Because I was originally supposed to be in California this summer full-time, moving there. But I'm still battling with fear. And it's like, once I accepted the fact that it's fear that's dominating me, now I'm trying to figure out how to get over it. But to go back with the command you need, it was like, God, I can command you to give me something. I can command you to do something for me, because this is what your word says. Mm-hmm. Your word says, command me to do this. Mm-hmm. And I have to do it if I believe in you. Because he don't want you to not believe in him. So for the longest, it was like, God, I command you to make a way. God, I command you to open up these doors. God, I command you to give me the finances to be able to be successful and succeed. And since I've been standing on that sentence alone and just having faith that everything will work out, like, even in the struggling ways, it's like, how did it happen? Like, I just didn't have that. How did this happen? Like, it'd be the craziest things and the craziest opportunities, and some of them were fails and some of them were success, but it always happened either off of faith or fear. Those are the only things I live off of, is faith and fear. Are you going to be fearful that it's not going to happen and miss out on your opportunity, or are you going to have faith that it can happen and be successful in your opportunity?
Man, I'm loving your conversation. I could roll and piggyback off so much that you said. I'm ready to just steer away from these questions and just talk. But how's the business doing today?
It's successful. It's a blessing. It's a huge blessing. I plan on expanding next year. I just don't know, like, if I'm going to expand in the salon in California or expand here in the salon in Dayton, Ohio, or even in Columbus, Ohio. I'm speaking with a few people on branching that off, but with that and my online business, I launched my hair care line with my hair oil and my body butter. My body butter is a huge blessing as well. I launched it in 2019, April, 4 months, not even 90 days later, I've sold to every continent.
Respect.
More than once.
Wow.
Well, except for Antarctica.
Except for Antarctica.
They don't have a population though.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing about everything that you're working on, it's all like in the same field.
Right.
It's all like hair, skin. I can see the links. I can already see the future of the links. Like you want to get your hair done, you want to set up my shop in California, Ohio. I got two. I got one in Columbus, one in Cincinnati. Also, I'm set up in Louisville, Kentucky. You know, or you can go to this link and download products, skincare products. You go to this link if you're looking for wigs. You know, yeah, respect.
Yeah. For forever, I used to be like, I'm running out of time, and then I'm like, you know, put time on my side versus being on time side. See the end goal. Know it's real, but then it gives you patience. Once you believe in the end goal, and you know it's real, you got patience to it. Yeah, the backslides, the door closing, the nose, the pain, the hardship. Yeah. It don't eat you up. It's like you become invincible through it all. I can see you already. Just to give a premonition already, like doing the YouTube videos to build your market, and then the acting on the YouTube videos, the clowning, doing, you know how they do that. Then all of a sudden, somebody pick you up. Tyler Perry called at you and wants you on one of the next. You know, Tyler Perry just did that. You know, you got in Atlanta that he bought that whole base. It used to be a. I know, he turned it into that movie studio. Yeah, I mean, a production studio.
Yeah, but it used to be like the
Confederate. That Hollywood would not work with him, and he said now Universal Studios is contacting him to work and shoot movies at his production studio. Mm-hmm. He said you could fit Universal Studios inside his parking lot 2 times.
Have you always been a goal-oriented, driven person?
No. I want to say it's in my bloodline just to hustle. Growing up with my mom, she always worked at 9 to 5, but my dad's side of the family always went and got their own money. So growing up older, I navigated closer to them, and it was like, what y'all doing? We hustling, like we get money. Any means possible. Whether it's opening up a shop, doing nails, doing hair, get money, selling clothes, like whatever it was, they were getting money. And it just came over. It came about me like about in my early 20s, like. I don't want to work for nobody. I gotta start setting goals. I gotta get some money that's mine, and people not telling me, oh, we don't need you no more, or oh, it's okay, you can clock out, or take it or leave it. Like, you're not about to tell me to take it or leave it. You take it or leave it.
Where do you see yourself of the business in the future? Like, what are your stepping stones, short-term goals leading up to the large goal? I know I kind of briefly touched on that.
Every day I wake up, I'll be tossing and turning, like, I hate it here. You know, they got that little phase going on, like, I hate it here. And dating, like, everybody say something.
That's a new thing?
Yeah, it's
like a little trend.
It's a trend, seriously, but it makes so much sense. Like, I see somebody on Facebook say, it was a girl laying in the bed with a dog, and she was like, if you think it's going to be dogs, I might as well sleep with my dog. And somebody was like, I hate it here. And I just was like, I hate it. Like, I just been waking up like, I'm still in the same bed. I'm still in the same city. I'm still braiding the same girl's hair. I'm still getting the same amount of money. I hate it here. I hate it here. And I'm like, I have to get to California. And everybody's like, why you want to go to California? There's earthquakes there. There's tsunamis there. It's going to be water eventually. I'm like, I don't care. If it takes me under, it takes me under. I need to be in California. Like, that's my ultimate goal, is to be in California, to have a salon down there, to work down there, to just be a jack of all trades down there. I don't care.
I met this dude in Charlotte, and I remember we met him on the hubbub. We was talking, and he had like a YouTube channel and everything, and you know, he was grinding for his dream, and he ended up just going out on a limb, moving out to California because his dream was to be an actor, and he just went out there living in his car. You know, you had heard these stories, these type of stories, but yeah, this is one true story. He went out there, and now he's like one of those YouTube, Instagram comedians. And his page is funny, and literally, like, he's getting so much. He mimicked Oprah, and Oprah responded to him and wrote him back and everything. So it's like, now his page is like, I say maybe in the next year or so he gonna have that.
Keep striving. Yeah, anybody can make it in California. Like anybody. Like, people are like, California is expensive. It's expensive. There's too many homeless people. If you homeless in California, like, I went to go give a homeless person $6, and I walked up on him. He had a mattress, He had a cell phone and he was strolling on an iPad. I was like, I scoot your ass over. I was there with you got cell phones. There's two different types of homeless. You can be homeless because you're chasing your dream, or you can be homeless because you just can't wait till somebody give you a couple dollars. I went to a gas station one day and this dude had a Benz truck and he was brushing his teeth, spitting out the water, putting on his clothes. And he caught me looking at him. He was like, it ain't what you think, Ma. He was like, I'm chasing my dreams.
Respect.
He like,
and then you got it's like he's putting on a suit. It's like he's still driving the Benz truck.
Brushing his teeth.
In the gas station restroom.
No, parking lot.
In the parking lot.
And then my other homeboy, I did his hair. He had short hair. And he opened up a dispensary down there, but it got grandfathered down to him. He was like, they won't give it to minorities. How the hell y'all gonna call us minorities? I just had to talk with somebody. But he was like, it got grandfathered down to me. He said, now that I'm in the business, in the industry, I want to represent for my people. He was like, give me some dreads. His hair was this short. He was like, I want you to put locks in my hair. He's like, I couldn't get it when I was trying to get to this industry. He was like, but now that I'm in it, I need to let them know. I gave him some locks, and he walked in there in his first meeting. He said, Natecia, they looked at me like I lost my mind.
Ain't that the twist though? We gotta suffice and do everything when we gotta become subpar and not be ourselves so they can accept us. But now, 2019, the way things happen, and they know they ain't got no choice because it's like you back a dog in the corner, and eventually the dog's gonna go through you. And I think we're at that point. Who are you? What defines you? What are your good characteristics, qualities?
I don't know. That's a good question. Like when you ask somebody who they are, to me, it's like they give you a quick question or they feel like they know off back. Congratulations for you. But I tell people, when I turned 29, I was like, it took me 29 years in my life to figure out who I was. Before I thought I knew. And it was like, once shit started hitting you, and once life started hitting you and waking you up, and you find yourself actually awoke to things that you weren't even like involved with or in tune with, you feel like you were robbed your whole life. I was in church for 10 years straight, and I felt like I got 10 years robbed out of my life. So it's like when you figure out who you are, you have to go back to the drawing board. So I don't know, like I'm still figuring it out.
We're learning every day. We're students. Man that knows something knows that he knows nothing at all. We never arrive. Because I remember when I was younger, one day and I ran into this. It was just like this. Call him a wise man. I think in the neighborhood I thought he was a fiend. He might have been a fiend, but he was talking to me and he asked me. He said, "Who are you?" He said, "What's your purpose?" I'm like, and I remember, almost like heart rate picking up, hair standing up on the back of my neck, and I'm just like, I started rambling. Started telling them, I started giving all my credentials. Well, I'm doing this and so, and I'm about to go to college, and I play football, and I'm a good kid, and I do this and so. I want to do this and whatever, and I was just rambling, and he was just quiet. He was just looking, and when I stopped talking, he didn't say nothing. I thought my answer was wrong. So then I'm like, oh wait, hold on. And later on, what I learned is, there is no defined answer to that question. Whether it's a paragraph, whether it's a sentence, whether it's one word, and it could change. It changes periodically. Every day we wake up, we become a different person. We're supposed to grow, and so I think when you, as you ponder on that question, who are you? What's your purpose? I think the defining thing about it is it helps you be a self-student. It's almost like going into a nursing home. You go into a nursing home and ask an old person something like that. Their answers might be more defined because they're so wise and they've been through so much. But don't get strung up on that.
Right now, I could answer it, but I like the open chapter. Still writing.
Yeah, let it marinate. Have you experienced any failures? What are the lessons that came out of the failures? Why do you think people believe that there is an easy, quick route to victory or a fast track to success?
I don't think that you feel like you can skip past the pain. I feel like that's what you try to do. Like you think about doing it, you vision yourself skipping past it, but you know it's going to come. You know it's going to come because when you're trying to be successful, you lean on people. Like when you first start, you go, oh, I can do it on my own. I don't need nobody. I'm going to be successful. Forget all of y'all. I don't need y'all. And then you find yourself, oh, can I get a ride here? Or oh, can I get $5 here? Or do you know somebody that can do this? I feel like success, you need somebody somehow, some way. So I don't think it's that we think we can skip past failure or the pain that's in failure. It's just that we try to find the other route. Because you know that nobody's dream is going to be your dream. Nobody's going to make your baby their baby. They're not going to baby it the way that you will. They're not going to care for it the way that you will.
Yeah.
As far as me having failures, like, I don't really believe in failures. I believe in lessons, and I believe in.
Like you said, they're not failures, they're lessons.
Yeah, it's a not right now. If you didn't fail, if that's what your goal, and you did 100% of that, it wasn't your time. And I'm a firm believer in what God has for me is for me. I don't care if me and you both doing the same thing. If I start a podcast right after you tomorrow and name it the Champagne Room, the Champagne Room number 2. You can't get on the internet and bash me and bad like, oh, she started the Champagne Room number 2, but it's cool. Y'all come follow my Champagne Room number 1, the real original. Listen, what's for you, it's gonna be for you.
Exactly.
Let me put that fire in your ass. Is you scared I'm gonna catch up on you? You scared I'm gonna take over you, or is it like, oh, listen, congratulations to you because me and you gonna go to the top together? Like, there is no failure. It's a different route for you. It's a different route for me. And being here in this city is like crabs in a bucket, and people always think that, oh, because she not doing this, she failing and I'm winning.
Yeah.
Oh, we winning. Me and my team winning. They ain't winning. They not doing nothing.
But you said it in so many ways. Like if we pull together, the empire is built by many, but you stay separated. Why we gotta compete when we can work together?
Yeah. People want to do it on their own. They don't want nobody's help, and that's sad because you see different races like Mexicans living 15 in the house, saving their money. But black people like, oh no, I can't stay with you. I can't go stay with my mom. My sister, you're on my nerves. Listen, if you don't got no kids, you don't got no man, you don't got no woman, family, it take a village. Take a village to raise. So you see these Mexicans, they get up and go to work all together. They eat together. Africans, they eat together. Jamaicans, they party together.
And a lot of these cultures, like you said, they stay together in their household. They'll until like after like
until they find a mate.
30s, and until they find a mate or really become on their own. It's like their families are more together. That's actually our culture. We just America made sure we lost that culture.
Exactly, because we're number one. I think Black African American people are so strong individually. How strong we are. Imagine how strong we could be if we was actually unite and be like, let's take what was ours back. But we don't see that. We see competition. There is no competition. It's a million people who want their hair done. Where is the a million hairstylists? Why you want all the money? They gonna always need their hair done. It's a million nail techs. It's a million podcasts. Subscribe to all of them. Today you might feel Champagne Room. Tomorrow you might feel the Shade Room. You know what I'm saying? Like, why?
What you just said. Well, why does that scare you? But it should put a fire under you.
Yeah.
It should make you push harder. You should be working like an ant.
Yeah, but still, it pushes people, but they be like, they catching up. Am I there yet? Like, and it's like, just chill. What's for you is gonna be for you.
One of my favorite quotes is by Theodore Roosevelt. And it's, I feel sorry for the man that neither knows victory nor defeat. And what I get from that is a lot of people are fear-based. They listen to other people's opinions. They're controlled by fear. They speak with fear. They move with fear. So what happens is the reason they neither know victory nor defeat is because they never try anything.
Yeah.
So they never get the defeat, which is actually a win-win. It's still a victory if you learn the lesson out of it. But they don't know victory nor defeat because they never try, they never feel the failure, and they never get to make it to a victory. So you see, that's real pain right there, because you don't try anything. You're not living, you're existing.
Yeah, you're working a 9 to 5, scared to chase your dream.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any regrets?
My only regret, I think, is not doing it when I was supposed to do it. Not doing it when my dad told me to do it, because it could have been a different route. It could have been a bigger space. I could have been further down the line. I could have been everything. And I wouldn't even say necessarily a doubt because, again, what's for me is going to be for me. So it's like, I took the road that everybody else took versus taking the road that was less taken and walking by faith. So since I took the road that everyone else took, I had to take a route. Yeah, that was something that I was always told, like, You know, you can be walking, you can be going, you think you're going the right way, but you walk in circles. Instead of just going the way that you inside of you told you to go, you took the road everybody else took you, now you taking routes. You take the route that your feet take you to. Walk by faith, you know, move your feet, and wherever the spirit leads you, wherever the universe takes you to, that's the road that you're supposed to take. Instead of trying to think with your head and not with your heart and not what's inside of you. Yeah. So I wouldn't say necessarily a doubt, I would just say more so a detour. You know, detours always take longer.
Yeah.
So not doubts, detours.
I like that. No wrong with a detour. You might, sometimes we gotta learn for ourselves.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you stupid, you're still smart. You know, you're wise when you learn from someone else.
Yeah.
But we're all wise in our different categories. We're wise enough in other categories, and, you know. But I like that. It's just a detour.
Yeah, you know, your mom be like, oh, you better jump on that bed, you're gonna hit your head. You still laughing, get windy, you hit your head. I told you, now get up, and I bet you won't do it again.
Or get up and try it again.
Yeah, get up and try it again. Or, now I doubt that I'm gonna be successful with it because I failed out and I don't want to try again. Oh, it's not a doubt. It's a little detour. We're going to figure it out.
We're going to figure it out. We're going to patch you up.
We're going to patch you up. Touch the stove. Hot. It's hot. Now you're scared to touch the stove. Yeah.
You reach in. I would reach back in again.
Dumbass, I told you it's hot. I ain't that one. It's hot.
It's hot. You got it where you can touch it.
Yeah, I ain't reaching back in there.
You felt the heat coming out the stove on the oven.
I still feel the pain for the first time. I'm not going back in there. You just want those badass kids. Like, see if it's hot this time. Oh, I bet it don't be hot this time. It's hot.
What was your life like growing up? Your parents, how were you raised, your peers, the circle you ran with, the environment, and their influences?
It's literally weird. Like, my mom, she always wanted the best for us. She always wanted to figure out how to get us in school, how to get us in college. Well, again, my mom was a jack of all trades. I would come home, she'd already be at work, and I wouldn't see her till the next morning because she was working those 2, 3, 4 jobs that your friend was talking about. So it was like, I had her who showed me how to survive and how to make money and do what you have to do. And then as I was growing up, I was like, I don't want to do what I have to do. I want to do what I want to do. She showed me the route to do what I had to do. She got 2 kids. She was a single mother. She didn't know her mother. She didn't know her dad. She was basically given to my grandmother as a, here, you deal with it. So I didn't know where she came from. She didn't know where she came from. So she learned on her own, and she did it the best way she could. And the best way she could was just to protect and provide for her kids. Which is, you know, hey, that's how most black women are brought up because of, you know, the generational curse that we have over our lives. But she showed me what not to do, but I still applaud her for doing what she had to do. My dad's side of the family, it was just the exact opposite. Like, it was the raunchiest areas. It was the areas that's like, you know, I see this, I see the fun that's in it, but I see the route that I don't want to take. So I was always showed what I didn't want to do or what I shouldn't do. So I kind of have to figure out what I needed to do on my own.
Yeah. Can you end this with any advice or something you live by, a principle you stand on, anything that can help or inspire others?
I would definitely say, you know, when you wake up every day, you look in the mirror. Sometimes you look in the mirror and you just look directly at your face. You don't look past, you don't look into your eyes, you don't look into your soul. You don't actually take the time out to see who you really are. Goes to the question of who are you? Just be honest to yourself, be truthful to yourself. Like, take every day, step by step, and embrace those days. Like, you know, wake up each day and relax your mind before you do anything. Versus getting on social media, pick up the phone, calling somebody. Speak to yourself, speak to the universe, speak to God, whoever it is that you speak and pray to. Embrace that moment because that's going to dictate how your day goes. It's going to provide how your day goes. It's going to make your day. Being truthful to yourself, like the reason why I came up with natural vibes is because I was picked on so much as a kid because my mom always made me who I was. If I had natural kinky hair, I was wearing natural kinky hair. If we didn't have money for shoes, those are the shoes we was wearing. It was like, I was naturally me. a lot of people always try to enhance your looks or change their looks, and it's like by the time you go home and take all of that off, it's still naturally you. And I just like, I just want to be naturally a vibe. Every day I wake up, I want to be a vibe. Every day I wake up, I want to be naturally me. I don't want to be who you think I am. I don't want to be who they think I am. For the longest, I would defend what they said I was. And it was like, I might not even see y'all no more. I don't care what y'all say.
Yeah.
So if I had to give some type of advice, like just naturally be you all day, every day, embrace that day because tomorrow is not promised. And when you wake up, take the time out to naturally embrace who you are and the universe around you and the gift that God gave you.
Respect to that, queen. Respect. This concludes another podcast of the Champagne Room, where it's always celebration. I appreciate you being on here, Natecia, man. It was just, hey, man, I wish I could go all day with her because there's so many things I can joke around, we can pass the time, feed each other knowledge. But man, hey, you was dope. Thanks for having on my show. This is, I think my third person on my show, so
Really excited. So congratulations for this.
appreciate
It's
it.
definitely a celebration every day. Celebration. Like,
The champagne life, where trouble is a bubble in a champagne glass.
Everybody in my party is
Rick James.
champagne life.
Pop champagne.
Everything